So hello then, today we've got another video. We're going to be talking about how to get into drifting. We're going to go over, a car that you should buy, or cars, then mods you should do, and then how you can actually learn to start drifting. I'm going to go over, all the prices, pros and cons of doing it this way, and all that, so stay tuned. Now this was a subscriber requested video, so that is pretty nice.
Quarter they gon' finish. Yeah, I'm on call with a hit or two. No small talk, we miss the news, pull up with a flex on the ball at the minute.
Okay then, first of all, you're going to work out if you actually want to drift, because drifting is expensive. You need to think about, you don't just buy some cheap drift car and start drifting. You need to think about the cost of petrol, oil, tyres, especially tyres. They can be quite expensive. So just think, do you think you make enough money to justify doing this? Because, yeah, also, do you like your hand to do? Because you are going to be working on it, requires so much more maintenance than a standard car, because you're drifting the damn thing. Also, do you find it fun? Which you will find it fun, so yeah. So, do you think that you should start drifting? If you answered yes, then I guess we look at cars to buy. Now, we do want something cheap, because we are probably going to just smash it up quite badly, because it's the first drift car, I was sending it into a wall or something like that. So, we could be looking at the older BMWs with rear-wheel drive, they're quite good. Nissan Skylines, obviously not the GTRs, an MX-5, but they're quite slow. So you probably would want to boost at some stage, and then you've got reliability issues, so I probably wouldn't do that. But if you really like the MX-5, go for it, it'll just cost a little bit more money. Then you've got the likes of the Zafiros, which are big. So then, let's start cheapest to most expensive. Here I've got a BMW 525i E34 for $1,200. It has got precisely 200,000 Ks, a 2.5 litre inline 6 compared to a 5-speed manual, which is good. It has to be manual. However, concerns with this car, the 2.5 will probably have enough power for you to start drifting, but then as you progress more, you'll want more power and probably an engine swap. With a 3 litre or something will be for call, so yes. Next up then, this one will need an engine swap. It's a 318 Ti, so that's the compact one. It's very ugly at the back. It's got 1.8 litres, so that might work for you to do your first lesson or two, drifting, just doing some donuts or something. But after that, you'll want to 2.5 or 2.8 litres swap your car. This one here, again, is a manual, and it's got 160,000 Ks, and it costs $3.5 grand. So you can already see the value for money is a lot worse than that 525 we're just looking at, because you are probably going to put a new engine in it. Not fun. Anyways, next up then, we've got, do you not want a BMW? Because BMWs probably are the best choice. But anyways, here we've got 4 grand is a Zafiro. It's an A31 with the 2 litre RB20 and 200,000 Ks, but it's Japanese, so that's not a worry. Now this one does have 200 horsepower stock, so you probably will want to be swapping in. Perhaps the RB25 would be really good in the future for 4 grand, but this is not how I recommend you do it. There's actually some better deals out there. If you do want to do the work though, that's a good option. Now, an MX-5 again is 4 grand, 250,000 Ks. I just wouldn't recommend it because no power. You definitely are going to have to do something about it. If that doesn't scare you, you can do it if you really want an MX-5. Next up then is where things start to get good, okay? Here we've got a 2005 Skyline for 4 grand, 200,000 Ks, 3.5 litre manual. Like the manual isn't 3.5 litres, it's a 3.5 litre V6 with a manual, the VQ35. That is definitely going to have enough power for you to drift, okay? You're not going to need engine swap, it's just the mods we're talking about now. So that is a good deal. So be 4 grand without an engine swap. Now, then, a BMW with more power. A BMW 330i, that's a 3 litre. That's definitely enough power for you to drift, okay? People swap in the 2.5s and 2.8s. This is a 3 litre. Costs 4 grand. And it has 211,000 Ks. So, if you want a car, you can sort of get in, just do the mods we're going to talk about later. The 330i and that Skyline we just talked about are really good. 4 grand. But then, if you spend just $500 more, you have a drift car that's all ready for you. $500 and you get a car with a hydraulic handbrake, coilovers, and a diff. Well, of course there's a diff, so you can actually drift. Like, if you try to drift with an open diff, it's not going to work either. Well, your differential will be a limited slip diff. So this thing's all ready to drift, okay? $4,500. It hasn't got a roll cage though, or any seats. You don't need that. But it'd be good to have. But now, next up, do you want a drift car that is perfectly ready? It is all done ready for you, $9,800 here for, again, a Safiro. It's got an RB25 and it's got so much done to it. It's got a baffled oil sump, lightweight flywheel, bigger brakes, upgraded Clemen, gearbox, coilovers, extended LCAs, adjustable camber arms, sway bar, a dash, all the gauges you want, fire extinguisher, seats, harnesses, roll cage. It properly is the perfect way to get into drifting. Everything's ready for you for $9,800. If you are enjoying, please do drop a like and subscribe, because yeah, that helps me out a lot. To be fair, if I was me, and I am me, I'd probably get either that 330i or that Skyline and do the mods we're about to talk to it now, because they will probably turn out just to be just as gangster as this, for cheaper as well. So then, we've bought our car. If you've bought the Safiro, you don't need any mods, you can continue going. If you bought the Alteza, you probably don't need any mods either, for just $4.5 grand, that's freaking good. So now, if we did buy something that wasn't ready for it, so not the Alteza or the Safiro, we bought something else, and it's not quite ready for drifting, what do we need? First of all, we don't need to fix that diff. We're not going to need to weld that thing up. Now, if you've got some friend who can weld it for you, that's good, that is free. So what that does then is it makes it so that then the two rear wheels are constantly spinning at the same speed, which will cause the back to slide around in the corners. However, doing low speed turns, you can't really do in like car parks and like that. Drift car life, boys. After that, you probably will want to invest in a hydraulic e-brake. That will make it much easier to break traction on the rear wheels. It's not terribly expensive at all. After that, this is a mod I would really recommend. See, if you bought a car to drift, you want skinny tires out the back, so I'd recommend you buy some really skinny rims that you can just put tires on. And you're gonna drift on those ones, then when you finish drifting, you're gonna put on your stock wheels back on and drive home on those. Because driving on ball tires isn't safe. After that, some coilovers, because you need to dial in your suspension and get handling how you want. Because you know, you've got some big luxurious BMW that's just waffling and rolling around the track. That's not gonna help you. For stuff you have to do, that's about it. You can go start drifting if you want. However, you'll probably come back to do more mods later, so stuff I'd recommend is your control arms, or further adjustment of your suspension, a steering wheel, because a steering wheel is a really good mod to do your car, completely changes how it feels. Of course, stuff you know, like an exhaust, because you want to sound cool when you're drifting. And aero, and all that, perhaps some nice wheels. Bucket seats, and a roll cage, that'd be good. To start drifting, weld your diff, hydraulic handbrake, and you should be good to go. Of course, later on you can do brakes and all that, but not for now, okay? Now we can learn how to drift. So first of all, you might be blessed by a friend that knows how to drift, and he can teach you how to drift. Yes, that's really good. Get some cheap or free or bottle of beer lessons, you know? Give him a bottle of beer for a lesson or something like that. Just don't do it in the McDonald's car park, because that's illegal. Unless it's in Mexico, boys. Not lots of us do have drifting friends, so you might want to go into a drift academy like this one I've got here. Is in Auckland, and it is quite expensive. $550 per person, and it's a 3-hour lesson, give or take half an hour. Yeah. You do get taught by former D1NZ drifters, and that is very, very good. Highly skilled people, they know what they're talking about. Also, you've got this other place called Drift South in the South Island. They also do drifting lessons, and you will want to be taught by someone how to drift, because you don't want to end up sending into a wall or anything. And after that, you've just learned how to drift, you've got a drift car, so start drifting. And then, as you get to be a more professional drifter, you can do some big boy things. You know, engine swaps, big turbos, you know, push it to like 500, 400 horsepower. And then when you get to that stage, professional drifters, you remember before how we were talking about having skinny tires on the rear, really bad tires, so it's easy to break a drift? Well, professionals actually have grippy tires, so then they can get up to speed, because they want to go as fast as they can, then drift. So yeah, depending on where you are, you'll either want skinny tires or wide tires. And in the future, you know, you'll be looking at really properly dialing your camber. You know, perhaps even getting like a wide body at the front to fit some big meats, or even at the rear, get some big meats. And then you could also be earning money from it, so you can do some proper mad stuff to your car. You know, trade in your old 3 Series, because you probably did wrap it around a wall, and get something properly cool. But honestly, if you were going to start drifting, those 3 Series are so much better, I think, than any other car you can start drifting in. I'm a Jap guy myself, it's not because I like them, it's because they're rear wheel drive, They're cheap to get parts. If you want power, you can, you know, go get the 3 liters, or even, you know, the really big engine, and swap them in, and they are good at drifting. As long as you've got some good power, welded diff, and a high degree brake, you'll be good to go on those things. So of course, you know, you'll have your taste, so you can go get in the sand or something. But yeah, that is how you get into drifting perfectly by your boy, me. So if you did enjoy, please do drop a like and subscribe. Trust me, I truly will appreciate it. Comment what you thought. Check out my Instagram down in the description below. I post some pretty nice pictures. Thank you so much. Goodbye.